What's up, everybody? I'm Marcus.
I'm Ryan.
And together, we are the
Northwest Sports Fanatics.
It's NBA time. You know, around the holidays, you know, you get all of the games. It's time. Coming into the new year, some of your pretenders are still pretenders, and the contenders have stepped back up, and they're still contenders.
Right. So we want to go over really quickly with our NBA power rankings this week.
Yes, sir.
Just our little quick top five. So real quick, we'll get into it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, Portland Trailblazers. Formerly number 1 last week, right? We kind of dipped a little bit, Mr. Portland Trailblazers. So we had a little rough week. You know, we went 1-2. We're 25-7, so we got to be ecstatic for the record.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby, and I think most teams would have thought, and most players and fans, probably Clippers would be in that spot. So we'll take that spot for now. So we're happy with that. We lost a heartbreaker to the Heat, right? Tough one. Chris Bosh at the buzzer with the 3-pointer. We lost Tyreek Evans and the Pelicans. That's unexcusable. We lost
tough loss.
Tough loss there at the buzzer. But we did come out with a strong victory against OKC on the road on New Year's Eve. So we had a 1-2 record. Obviously, this last week, not the shabbiest record, but that OKC, that was a real strong win. Obviously, moving forward with obviously the heartbreak that we had in the 2 losses.
That's a great win. Anytime you can win at a place like OKC, which is kind of considered a tough place, just like we got out here the Motor Center. Oh, my bad. The Rose Garden.
Right, Rose Garden.
So it's tough to win there as well. They got tremendous fan support.
Right.
And one thing I want to mention about the Blazers is C.J. McCullough.
Rookie.
He's going down to the D-League team. You see that smile on my face? I can't wait to see this guy to get back with this team and his skill set.
Right.
He's just going to fit right in. And another stat for me, the reason why they going the way they doing what they do is LaMarcus Aldridge. You're averaging 11 rebounds a game.
Right, and you got to think he's got to be in consideration for MVP. More than likely, he won't win it, but he should definitely be considered.
He gets some few votes.
A few votes, you know, here and there. So shout out to the Blazers, even though we dipped from 1 to 5. You know, we're still in the top 5, so we're keeping it strong. And we are 2-0 against OKC so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they are the favorites in the West. Moving forward, we're going to go number 4, San Antonio Spurs.
The Spurs, OGs.
OGs, 25-7 as well.
Mm-hmm.
They had a little bit better week than the Blazers, though. They went 2-0. They beat Brooklyn. Well, everyone beats Brooklyn, so I mean, it's not really a big stat. But you did beat the Brooklyn Nets and the Sacramento Kings, lower tier teams in the NBA. What about some stats with the Spurs? Why are they doing so good this year?
Now, with the Spurs, you know, with the OGs, it's all about limited their minutes, giving them minute restrictions.
All right.
Now, this is a stat that I like the way this team is doing what they do.
All right.
Tim Duncan.
Okay.
Arguably best power forward of all time.
Okay.
28 minutes a game.
All right.
14 points, 9 rebounds.
Sounds like they're trying to make a nice playoff push, you know, down the road, save his knees.
So if he's only averaging 14 and 9 on 28 minutes, then that means that the other players like Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green and Thiago Splitter, they're coming to play, man.
Right. That's a great stat. And especially, you know, if you rest these bodies now, think about when it comes March, April, May, June, when they really need those players.
Then you can crank up that minutes to 35. And,
yeah, and he's still doing it, even at that old age.
He still is. I mean, 14 and 9, man, in 28 minutes. That's salute to you, Mr. Tim Duncan.
Mr. Tim Duncan, Hall of Famer. Keep playing well. Now we're going to shift over to number 3. The Miami Heat. So we said all year, Miami Heat fans, you know, we had you at 5 and 4. Now you're up a little position at number 3. You maybe we're gonna lose today against the Warriors. Obviously, you know, it was a close game. Obviously, when we last checked, you're 24-7, so a pretty damn good record. 2 wins, 1 loss. You had that Chris Bosh 3-pointer against the Blazers, so that's a nice, significant top 5 win. You beat the Nuggets, but then after you have those games, you lose to the Kings. So how do you lose to the Kings? But I guess, you know, sometimes you can't win them all, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Heat, man. We all know they got that coast button that they be hitting every time.
Any key stats for the Miami Heat, why they're doing so well?
For the Miami Heat, when I look at their team, you know, LeBron James is LeBron.
Right, King James.
I look at Dwayne Wade.
All right.
And so far this year, Dwayne Wade is averaging 20 points.
Okay.
4 rebounds a game.
All right.
And 5 assists.
Must be Gabrielle Union and that new wifey he's got, man. Maybe a little motivation there.
Yeah, they doing something, man. He's not having a superstar season, but he's still having an all-star season.
That's a great point.
There's a difference there for y'all real sports fanatics out there. Y'all know what I mean.
Yeah, so Flash, you're still playing well, and obviously they need him healthy to make a key run at the finals again this year. Otherwise, the Pacers will take their spot if injuries come into play for the Miami Heat. So shout out to the Heat. You're finally at number 3.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see if you ended up winning tonight or not. And that'll obviously transition into next week if you're number 2 or number 4.
Yes, sir.
And then moving forward, we're going to go number 2. OKC. Oklahoma City Thunder. So you're 25-6, right? You went 2-1 this last week so far. You had a loss, obviously, to the Blazers on New Year's Eve there, but you did beat the Houston Rockets and the Bobcats. Okay. So the Bobcats are kind of a lower tier team, but they're better than last year.
They're about 500.
They're making improvements, and obviously Houston Rockets are a legitimate playoff team. Yeah. So and obviously somewhere between 4 and 8, but. Why is OKC doing as good as they are this year?
The reason why OKC is doing so well this year, they had concerns last year when they lost Kevin Martin.
Right.
Who's going to step up? Who's going to be next? How about, we know Reggie Jackson. Well, he's into the starting lineup now. But when he's behind Westbrook, we know he comes in and plays well.
Okay.
But a guy I think everybody's sleeping on,
yeah,
Jeremy Lamb.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We talked about this guy in the draft, and we talked about how we thought he could be that special player. And then Houston let him go, and now it just so happens Westbrook gets injured, and now you got this like Batum kind of like player just sitting there, and he's starting to pan out.
When you can bring Jeremy Lamb off your bench, you got a pretty good team. But this year they asking more of him, and he's delivering. He's averaging 10 points a game off that bench. One of the reasons why OKC is sitting at number 2 in our power rankings.
Yeah, we do like Jeremy Lamb, so look out for him. He's going to be one of the better role players.
You almost here, Lamb.
Yeah, he's close.
I'm about to heart you.
He's close.
We'll see.
We're getting real close. And then last but not least, to take the throne back once again, the number 1 spot is Indiana Pacers. So that's no surprise. 25-6. You went 2-1 last week. 2 wins. Obviously, you beat Brooklyn twice. So does that count? I guess for now.
But would you say everybody beat Brooklyn?
Everybody beats Brooklyn for now. So I guess Jay-Z was smart to get out when he did, right? So hey, and then you lost to the Raptors, and that's one of those teams that's kind of on the up and up now. So normally it's the Raptors. You're thinking, they're garbage, but they're actually a pretty decent team for the East, obviously Eastern Conference.
I'm telling you, man, DeMar DeRozan right now, he's playing just as good as anybody in the whole NBA, not just the East or the West, in the whole NBA. DeMar DeRozan, he's hooping right now.
And you already know the rotation has been averaging double figures all year. So you got Roy Hibbert, you got Paul George, you got Lance Stevenson, you got George Hill, and the names go on and on and on. You got Skull off the bench. So this team is really, if you look at it compared to the Heat, more of a true team.
Yeah,
and if they do make a more complete team, and if they do make the finals this year, don't be surprised, because the Heat have gone to the last 3, and it's really hard to make it 4 in a row, even if you do have the best player on the planet, obviously, on your team in King James.
That is true.
So that's our top 5 NBA power rankings. Stay tuned till next week, and we'll have a brand new rankings for you. Shout out Northwest Sports Fanatics.
Shout out Northwest Sports Fanatics. I'm Marcus. This is Orion. And we'll be back at you guys real soon with a new video.
Stay tuned next week for NBA Power Rankings.
Yes, sir.